Hi, Marianne from Coastal Love and Decor. How's everybody doing on this Saturday? Okay, so this is the piece I've been talking to you about the entwined seahorses. Okay, so I wanted to try something different. I ended up buying paper off Amazon that you can use for resin for the background. And it comes like this. You get this color and this color. And it took me overnight to decide if I even wanted to try it. But anyways, I cut this out to fit my frame. So I was deciding on whether to do the next layer in the tint or a clear, and I think I'm going to go with the clear. And if I want a tint, because I'm going to put 2 layers on this. Okay, obviously I painted my background. I did my resin sand. You've seen me do that. And I've got an assortment of shells and my seahorses. So let's kind of get this started. I've never poured in a wood frame like this, so let's give it a try. And I'm calling this my house of seahorses. So, all right, so I got my resin mixed up. Let me put my gloves on because I know I'll be touching shells and resin, and I want my gloves on. So I'm really curious to see how this background's going to look with that paper. And it self sticks. So I think I want it more or less holographic paper, but I thought that's what I ordered. But obviously I didn't read the description well enough. So I'm going to try this. I did put this behind a piece I've already done on a glass frame, and it really looked pretty. So let's see how this is going to go. Okay, so got my resin mixed. So we're just going to pour this all over. I'm going to leave some for, now I'm going to have to put on 2 gloves. All right, so I'm just going to spread this around to cover this paper. And I don't know, it might take, I mean, I know I want another coat on this, but I might end up doing even a third. Or I want to see how this goes. But I was really excited to do this. And those are the seahorses that I made from clay, if you caught my video. They were painted and sealed. All right, so I want to just get this, even the sand, all covered. Get that all down in there, just like so. And then I can add, now let me do another dribble in here, but I want to save some for my shells. And I was going to put waves in it, but I'm thinking, to me, this is looking in the water at the bottom of the ocean. So I don't think I'm going to put waves in this one, because you're not going to see waves if you're standing at the bottom of the ocean floor, not directly at you. Of course, I've never been down to the bottom of the ocean floor, so I could be wrong, but I'm assuming no. Okay, let me get this wiped off. Maybe I won't have to change my glove. Okay, now I'm going to take my heat gun. And you know the thing about this piece, if it had bubbles in it, I think I would like it, but I'm still going to run the heat gun over it. Okay. Alrighty now. I'm also going to need my small shells. Let me grab those real quick. Okay, my next step is to put my coral or sea fan, and we're going to use this. I don't have very much real sea fan coral left. It's very, very expensive to purchase, and I think I only have one piece left, so I didn't want to use it on this one piece. So look for something else. Now these I get at Dollar Tree at Christmas time. They're the Christmas trees ornaments. So I just cut them and I spray them with hairspray because they're glittered, which that doesn't bother me a bit. So, and then I cut them to fit. So I'm going to place this right here. And I'm just going to add just a drizzle over this. Then I'm going to take my next piece and I'm going to slip it underneath here. And actually, I think I need to cut my third piece. Let me see here. This is going here. Whoops. Oh, this is going to be sitting above, so I don't have to. So this would be the top of the tree, you know, the ornaments at Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to stick it underneath here because you're not going to see that little hole. Just like so. And that's looking good. Now I'm going to add, okay, these are just pieces of shell that you pick up along the beach. So I kind of want to just throw some down in here. And I'm moving my coral here. I just want to throw some in here on the bottom, like so. And let me just add just a little on this for now. And then I think what I'll do is add just a couple little shells in here. I don't want to go much because I'm going to cover this piece is going to go here. So let me put just a little bit more. I may have to cover that shell with resin. And I want to slip that right in there like so. And then I have this other pretty shell here, which I'm going to slip it right in there. So what I want to do is get some more resin in here. And actually that tip in there. Okay. And then we're going to just put that in there like so. Just fit it in there the best way I can. That looks good. I think I'll shove a little shell down in there, a couple little shells. Like so. And a few more up in here. like so. And let's add I'm going to add just a little bit right there so it holds those shells together. And let me clean up my mess. At least it wasn't as bad as yesterday, the way I was dropping resin. Well, I shouldn't say anything because I ain't done with this yet. Okay. All right. Now, next we're going to move over this way. And what does that look like? It might be the way the light is. I don't know. Okay, so now we're going to go and we're going to use this piece right here. And what I'm going to do is put some resin on that end there and put it underneath this clam. Just like so. Yeah, I'm concerned about this. I might have to cover it all. I'm trying not to. Let's put a little more in there. And let me wipe that off. There's quite a bit of resin on the top of that from my fingers. I mean, if I have to cover it, I'll cover it. But I should know come my next layer. I just want to get those drops off. Okay, so we got that there. And then I have this gorgeous shell here, which I'm going to put right here, just like so. And let's put a little resin along it, down around the side there. Now, I'm going to add this little piece here. Let me move this. I think I might put some shells in here too, but I'm going to put a little bit in here. Now I have this chunk of sea glass. I know if you cover it, it loses some of its color. So let me put a few little shells in there first so I can just attach the bottom. Let's just try that. I just thought it'd be fun to add just a little piece of this glass that I'm just going to shove in there like you find a hidden treasure. Okay, and then let me put a little bit more in here. Like so. And I think I need a little, and yeah, I got it on there. I want a little bit more in there. Okay. So let's add, okay, this is a sand dollar I made. So I can cover this with resin. I don't normally cover my sand dollars with resin because they change color. But this one, I can. So I want to get that, I want to make it look like it's floating in the water. I don't want it flat down. So let's kind of caulk it underneath here, and we're going to cover that up. And then I have a starfish that I'm going to lay right on there. Just like that. And then I have another shell. I want to put, I think, right in there. Kind of. Okay. So I'm going to go around that one. Well, I might even just cover that one. Okay. This is looking good. Now, I am loving this so far. All right, I want to attach my baby seahorses. See, I need more in here. I can see it. But like I said, I'm going to be putting another layer on this. I believe I can wait 4 hours. Okay. So, I want to put my baby ones on the coral. You know what? And I do want a little bit more, a few baby shells in here. And let's put some in here. And some down in here. Where's my, okay. Oh, this is looking pretty. I'm really liking this, guys. Really liking this. I think this might be a hard piece to sell for me because I don't have another one of these. Okay, so I'm going to add those baby seahorses as if they're in the sea fan coral. So I'm thinking like so. So I'm going to have to put right here. I'll put this little precious thing right here. And I will cover that. And let's put this one, let's see. Don't move your coral. I think I'll move this over just a smidgen. Like so. I gotta think this out. This is gonna be on the top layer. So I might want to move it back the other way a little bit. Let's just take it down here. Like so. We're just gonna do that. And then we're gonna put this one maybe up on this side like so. So let me add a little bit more resin here. And we're gonna put that right there. I think right in there. Come on, no. Okay, now I'm gonna cover those up so they stay where they're at. And let's see. So then when I do another layer, the mama will be laying on the top. Okay. That looks pretty good. This looks like I have a hair or something in it. Okay. Let's see, what else do I want to do here? I don't know. I'm not sure if this looks too empty. I'm trying to envision. So if I do this, which this will go like this, on top of another layer. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'll have to think this out. I'm not sure if I want anything else on that side, but I know this is where this little couple's going. So I think I'm just going to let that go and let me use up what I got left here. Get back down in here. Let's just pour that in there. Like so. I don't know if I need maybe just one little piece, another piece of the sea fan, coral, whatever you want to call it. And let me just get this all emptied out. And I think we're good there. And I don't know if I'm liking that one seahorse. Wonder if I need to. There we go. Well, maybe no. Yeah. Okay, so I'm liking that. And I'll probably put a few bubbles up in here. But this looks good. This looks like I have something in here. Let me get this out. I forgot to take the tape to this paper after I put it on. But if I see anything, I can sand it out when I put the next coat on. So let's let this sit, and it's 1 o'clock, 2, 3, 4, 5, somewhere around 5 o'clock. I will add another coat. Now, I don't think I want to tin it, but I think that's it. I think I'm done fooling with it for now, so I'm going to take the heat gun and I'm going to get off of here because you don't need to keep hearing me say, well, well, and well. So let me take the heat gun to this real quick. Alrighty then. So here's part 1, and stay tuned for part 2. I'm not sure if I'll show the video of part 2 unless I do something different. If I do something different, then I will do a video on that. But if not, then you know where I'm going with this and you'll see the final photo. But if I'm just going to add another layer and do nothing, then I'm not going to, you don't need to see that. So I think it's looking good just the way it is. But again, maybe 2, maybe 3 layers. Alrighty then. Thank you. You guys have a great weekend.